Senator Husted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank you and the ranking member for making this a priority. I think that ESOPs are one of the most virtuous forms of capitalism in America. If you look at the information, you can see that it's good for the employees. The companies tend to do better than those who have been exited with, say, a private equity investment, which I would like for you, if any of you have thoughts about the difference in the marketplace between an exit that involves a private equity exit versus an ESOP exit and what that means. I hope that we will get this accomplished, because I do believe that there is a lack of awareness about the ESOP option, and that there is friction. If you have, because the company owners I encounter most are usually family owners, that they have this family business, there's not someone to take it over, they would like to exit, they have a private equity option, they have an ESOP option, and if it's more difficult for them to do an ESOP, then they're less likely to do it, and if it's easier for them, they can. And then we also, would also like you to address the diversity, because look, capitalism is hard. Running a business is hard. Sometimes they fail, even because of markets and other factors. How did you protect for the diversification for some of the employees as you're looking at not having all of their eggs in one basket? If anyone has a thought on that, please share. Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much for your question, Senator. I'll take the diversification issue first. It's really important with ESOPs, the research that we have I've placed into the record that shows that ESOPs, 70% of ESOPs tend to have separate 401k plans. When ESOP companies contribute to 401k plans, they have significantly higher balances than non-ESOP companies. More ESOPs, in fact, ESOP workers have defined benefit plans than non-ESOP workers. So ESOPs are not to the disadvantage of other retirement plans. Also, I think it's important to recognize that the workers are not buying the stock with their savings and with their wages with virtually all ESOPs. That's very important. That does reduce some of the risk. Lastly, we've seen that ESOP companies, to diversify, acquire other companies whose businesses are counter-cyclical to their own. And that's something that requires a lot of thought and future planning. Every ESOP company should have a committee to plan for when the market changes, because capitalism changes. New things happen. If you plan for it, you can do a better job.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
I'm okay.
I was just going to add one note on the diversification piece. I can speak to a sample size of one at King Arthur. So in addition to everything that was mentioned, there is kind of a plan design, but there are required options that you have to offer where if someone is 55 years of age and has 10 years of experience, they can diversify. King Arthur, we've taken that one step further and amended our plan to bring that age down to 40 years. So it's technically not diversification, it's an in-service distribution, but that allows if you have 10 years of experience and 40 years, so it allows the younger workforce to diversify sooner.
I'll just comment to your private equity versus an ESOP. So, an ESOP is a longer-term transition. You're going to have a different goal in moving your company to an ESOP, meaning you probably want to continue the culture and the work ethic and maybe even some of your own leadership as an employee or as an owner into the life of the ESOP. And so that to me is a longer term, whereas a private equity transaction will also have completely different objectives, because that typically is a shorter term hold. And so there's the difference there, and it just boils down to what does the owner want to accomplish for his company.
Yeah, and do you know anyone who maybe wanted to do an ESOP but felt that the rules for doing it were so difficult that they chose otherwise? Have you encountered that?
Yes, I have seen that at least a couple of times. It's tied around the valuation issues that I mentioned earlier. I will add that we have multiple additional opportunities to diversify, starting, I think, at the age 45, and then beyond the 55, we have, once you're 55, you can diversify every year till the end. We also bring in investment advisors to help counsel our employees about the need to diversify. However, we've outperformed the market so much that we have very little success in getting people to diversify.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.